Coach Kirk came in after that loss and made it up to us to figure it out. That's when I first knew how serious it was. And our leaders in the room had to take over as that voice and really make sure that everybody bought in. And that just continued the whole night. I think we all went to Wendy's and got chicken nuggets together and locked in and knew what we had to do the next day. And that was to buy in as a team and make sure that we all stuck together.
For the rest of the championship, the team walks and prepares with a focus that would burn paper. The next morning, Alberta shuts out Colorado 3-0. Strome stops everything. That afternoon, Alberta beats New Jersey 9-1. The goal differential for Alberta goes to +11. Jody Dick, one of the parents, texts me, "Where are we at, Kirk? We have no interest in watching AA playoffs." It comes down to the final game of the qualifying round. They edge Missouri by a +2 differential. They will play for the championship, but just barely. It should be said that after the Wisconsin loss and the dressing room talk, Alberta in the next 5 games that included the playoffs would only give up 5 goals. Because Alberta finished 5th in the qualifying round, they do not receive a bye into the semifinals. They have to play a qualification game first. Friday morning against North Carolina, the 4th seed, who went 3-1 in the qualifying round and scored 30 goals. Alberta shuts them out 4-0. Then they wait 10.5 hours while Michigan, the Red Monster, the far and away number 1 seed, sits fresh on the other side of the bracket. Michigan's qualifying numbers are worth stating plainly. 4 wins, 0 losses, 34 goals for, 8 goals against, an average of 8.5 goals per game. They are the most dominant team at the tournament by a distance. Before the game, Coach Simo finds Coach Jensen in the hallway. "Kirk, why are we playing you in the semifinal and not the final?" "Coach, we lost a game. That one is on me." Friday, July 28, 2017, 7:20 in the evening. One of the greatest games in the history of youth inline roller hockey begins.
The semifinal game in 2017 against Michigan Red was the best inline game I've ever been a part of. It wasn't a high-scoring game. It was just a perfect roller game played by 2 very, very competitive teams.
Michigan strikes first and early. A second, 4 minutes later, 2-0. Alberta has been shut out for an entire period against the most dominant team in the tournament. The 2017 championship hangs in the balance. The coach looks at his team. They have been here before in league, in major tournaments, and provincials back home. The core group have been forged together in the fire of many of these battles. They have been playing up in age for years against bigger and stronger kids, but none with bigger hearts and stronger belief in each other. This team will not be intimidated or kneel to anyone. Boys, we have been here before. Believe in each other, work together, never give up, and go find that first goal. They go back out. Period 2. 6 minutes and 54 seconds. Peyton McDonald Korea to Jaden Smith. Two to 1. Two minutes later, Peyton McDonald Korea to Caleb Dick. 2-2.
I knew we needed a big goal. We were down 1. And it was a huge moment for me at that point. Never really had something like that. And yeah, I just remember getting a pass from Peyton and walking in and just ripping one home. And yeah, I was super excited. That was a really cool moment for me.
2 goals in 1 minute and 44 seconds. The building changes. Their hometown rink is much quieter. They have only dominated teams to this point. This is new ground for Michigan, and you can feel they have found an equal. There is doubt that has crept into their swagger, and the long shadow of the Fort Wayne loss is now cast over their bench. Neither team scores in the final minutes of regulation. The crowd is tense. Mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters from both sides are gripping the moment tightly. Overtime. Intermission. Helmets are off. Their faces are flushed and their heads are soaked with sweat. At 1 minute in, a Michigan player picks up a turn over on a wide open net. And the netting bulges above the glass.
The guy was just around the hash marks and he had a wide open net. I was coming up. Caden was on the right side of the goal. We couldn't get back in time, and I was on the left side striding up. And the guy shoots the puck, and it was almost instinct where I deflected out of the air, seeing the trajectory, and it was just like a quick flash. I didn't even see it, and I felt it on my stick, and then it went up. It wasn't in my net. I wasn't worried about it. The whistle blew. It was instinctual. It was automatic.
I seen the puck coming. I'd squared up to the one shooter and then I got over, but the puck was already coming. And as a goalie, you know when the ones that are going in are going in before they're coming. And you make your move, but you kind of know it's going in. And as I made that move, here comes across the stick. And I'd seen the puck, because you never lose sight of it. I'd seen it go off his stick and fly up into the netting. And then as soon as I seen that netting kind of flutter, I was like, oh, there's a breath of fresh air. And then I looked over at him with wide eyes and I was like, thank God you're standing right there. And then I went over and tapped his head because he didn't really know. I don't remember him saying much because I think he was just in shock that he got a piece of it. Like we still were in it. We still had a chance.
11 more minutes. 2-on-1s, breakaways, goalposts, both ways. Shots, Michigan 30, Alberta 37. 2 goaltenders playing the games of their lives. The results refusing to come.
I remember how each team didn't want to make a mistake. Everyone was playing so safe, so simple. Safe passes. Nobody was forcing any pucks. Turnovers barely happened. We were just playing so smart. I know that year we had a little bit of a lower bench. So I remember I stayed on the entire overtime. But that kind of gave Michael and Tyler the opportunity to step up a little, try and get some offense going, try and keep the puck up, take a couple risks, knowing that I was a bit tired, I was a bit beat up. But yeah, Michael, who ended up stepping up, making a play, passing it down low to Jaden.
A Michigan player rims the puck around the boards from behind his own net.
I would say it just looked good. Sometimes the puck bobbles and the probability of you getting there before he does a little tighter. The Michigan player, it's either he didn't see me or didn't put enough on the pass, and it was right there. I stepped up, it could have bounced over my stick, could have been a completely different story, but it was looking good, so I stepped up. I knew that there was not a lot of time left, and all the time that was going to be left in this period were going to be in their zone, so I wanted to get it to our captain as quick as I could. Jaden was there.
And the moment you have only seen in a movie happens, where everything goes into slow motion, where there is a deafening silence in a building full of fans.
And it hits the goalie in the stomach, and I guess the puck found its way. It was very slow motion at the time for sure. And then it rolled off his pad, and I was beside the net, and I looked down and I see the puck just cross over the line by maybe an inch. And the ref was in the corner that I was in, so I knew he probably couldn't see it. So as soon as I saw it go in, I threw my arms up and hope, and right away the ref came bolting over, and he put goal, and that was it. Celebration time.
I knew Jaden wouldn't lie. I knew he wouldn't lie. I knew if that puck was in the net, he would have put his hands up. There's no reason to be that happy if the puck wasn't in the net. So I immediately knew that it was over.
So that no one could pull it out of the net? So we knew it was a goal? Because it was that close. If they moved it an inch out of the net, it would have been no goal. So I'm throwing those up.
The scene goes into fast motion and chaos. Alberta fans erupt. The score sheet will read Jaden Smith, assisted by Michael Jensen. 11 minutes and 10 seconds of overtime. Just 49 seconds left in the overtime period. Players collapse on the surface. Peyton for Alberta, Nick Simo, the goalie for Michigan. These players have given everything for their teammates, for their province and state, and for history. After the handshakes, the referees come over to both coaches on the surface. This is a senior official who has worked all divisions, including the Palma Pro division. Both coaches are standing together. He looks at them and he says the words that in this documentary become the sentence that defines the era. Thank you, gentlemen. That was the greatest game I have ever been a part of.
That was definitely the talk around the rink at the time, 100%. Referees, everyone was talking about that game, how it was just an unbelievable game, back and forth, and yeah, you guys did it again, beat them.
In the dressing room, the players are not jumping up and down celebrating. They are completely spent. They sit talking quietly, many drinking fluids, with their soaked gear off, and with their gaze looking at the floor or the ceiling. Physically, emotionally, they are done. Their soul and spirit is all that's left.
In the overtime in the semis there, I just remember how tired everyone was. And it's so hot in those rinks too. And yeah, it was just such a long game, and we were just fighting to stay alive and to finally get it. Everyone was pretty happy. I remember too, after the game, just guys laying on the floor and they're just exhausted and couldn't stand up. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
The championship final is the next morning. The final was played yesterday evening, and everyone in the division, from organizers to coaches to players, know it.
Coach, I remember before the championship final there, we were sitting together at breakfast at the hotel, just chatting and going through all the highlights of our weekend there. And I remember knowing that this was my last game. I had more in the tank, and that me and Xavier had more in the tank. And right away, I think it was a minute into that championship game there, that Peyton came down, toe dragged a guy up on the right side blue line there and fed it across for me.
Son up on the wing. Here's a chance. McDonald Correa scores! He's fed it across to Ellis. Ellis with the one-timer. 1-0 Alberta lead.
I basically had my stick in the rafters waiting for it before I even knew it. So I was pretty ready and prepared, and I'm sure I had it in the back of my mind of our conversation at breakfast there.
Donald Correa makes a toe drag move inside. Feeds it rink wide to Connor Ellis, and it's a 1-0 Alberta lead.
Halftime, 4-2. Boys, we're up 4-2, and we have not played our best period yet. They put it away in style.
The corner goes for Jaden Smith. Fire scores! Smith still fighting for control. Has it, comes to the backhand, wraparound, scores! Damiento fires that one wide, goes to Ellis, scores! Penalty was coming up, and Ellis makes it 7-2. Comes now to McDonald Correa to Caleb Dick. Dick cleared in front, scored! Jaden Smith again. And at the end of this one, that's all she wrote. Alberta wins it 8-2 over Michigan in the 2003 AAA championship game.
back-to-back AAA world champions, the first Alberta and Canadian team in any division to repeat in AAA, and the first team that anyone outside Alberta begins to talk about as something more than a single champion, something that is starting to look like a dynasty. Behind the Bench reveals the leadership and high-performance support staff that make championship performance possible. State Wars did not begin as the World Championship of Youth Inline Hockey. It began as something much simpler.
Back in 2002, 2003, I was running a roller hockey rink on Long Island, Rapid Fire Arena. So I was around the sport a lot, and I had been going to a lot of tournaments myself and playing when I was younger. And when I was working at Rapid Fire, one night I was refereeing the high school league. And I was pretty amazed at how packed the stands were with kids coming to watch the high school games, and they were rooting for their school team. And as I was skating around reffing, my mind started wandering about, I was just so impressed how into it these kids were getting about, hey, you know, this is my high school. And I just started going down this road in my brain about, hey, imagine if it was your state team and not your high school, like how much more into it you would be. 2004, put the final touches on, came up with the name and the logo, and it started getting real. And 2005 was our first State Wars event in Bensonville, Illinois, at the Edge. And we had 192 teams our first year. And I always joke around with Darren from Norwich because we went out to dinner and I let him know out of respect that we were starting this tournament. And he guessed that we would have 50 teams our first tournament. So when we had 192, I was pretty happy with that number.
Tim's really close with Darren from Norwich. Let him set up a table to help get this event off the ground. And wherever you went, we had these marketing shirts, the State Wars logo on it, and it said, "I'm trying out, are you?" I'll still remember that shirt to this day, man. And I'll see it every once in a while. 21 years later, I'll see it. That was our marketing strategy there with the shirts. All the top players, Tim was giving them shirts. They were walking around the rinks with them. And Thomas Stahl from New Jersey is wearing the State Wars shirt. He's going to State Wars. We got to go to State Wars. It was a great marketing tool for sure.
It was 2009. In Cincinnati, we introduced the provincial teams to State Wars. And back then I had reached out to Scott Hill from British Columbia, and we got a bunch of BC teams to come out. We got Alberta to come out. We got Ontario. And that just started a whole nother layer to the tournament. And, you know, you being from Alberta know how excited the provincial teams get for it.
Through the 2000s, State Wars expanded steadily. New age divisions, new skill brackets. The AAA division emerged as the elite tier, with teams traveling from Canada, England, Namibia, Australia, Sweden, France, New Zealand, and Chile to compete. The AAA division had become the most competitive youth inline hockey bracket in the world. It became the destination, the one championship that every serious program in North America and the world was targeting.
State Wars, I believe, is recognized as the highest level of a world championship for youth and for our pro division. If there's a team out there from another country that really feels like, hey, we're the best, then they got to come here and show it. You know, that's the place to go. People ask me all the time, like, why do you do the pro division? Why do you give away all this money? What's the point? And I always try to explain to them that I want these kids to see the highest level and want to get there. We need a carrot in the sport. We need something that kids shoot for in this sport. We don't want people to think that it's a dead-end sport. And here we are this year, 2026, Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have 363 teams playing in the tournament. And what's crazy about that number, out of 363, only 6 are from the home state. So we have that many people traveling in for State Wars from near and far. So many things I hope that players, kids, families take away from State Wars when they leave. I really hope they take away just like a precious memory. As you get older, obviously you look back at the time you had playing something that you love, and I just really hope that when they leave, they just, something that makes them feel good. These kids, they know kids from other parts of the world, from State Wars, and they talk, and I've had parents tell me, oh, they talk to that kid from whatever country or whatever, they know him. So that's great, and I just hope when people leave State Wars that they come away just with a precious memory of the tournament, and hopefully it's a good one.
Chapter 6, the Three-Peat. St. Peters, Missouri, summer of 2018. The Recplex is in the same building, the bracket is the same shape, but everything else is different. Team Alberta does not walk into the building this summer as underdogs. They do not walk in as challengers. They walk in as back-to-back AAA North American champions. And every coach in the field knows it.
When Alberta came, it was always, whenever you'd look down, you'd see the schedule like, that's going to be a tough one. You're kind of thinking, all right, that's good. That's probably an L. That'll probably put us in the AA division. We're probably not going to win that one. So, in some ways it might have helped us because we're in our minds, I'm not sure we ever thought we were, super strong at the AAA levels, but always feared seeing you guys on the schedule for sure.
In the coaches meeting on the morning of the day one, the other coaches look up and smile when Alberta walks in. 4 years earlier, nobody in this building knew who Alberta was. Now, the State Wars organizers know them by name. The play-by-play announcers know, the kids walking around the concourse know, and they know the head coach. Front row, always a question.
That's really it for me. Any questions from anybody? Everyone sleeping, or I answered it? I didn't part that one. Actually, Tim. 6 parts. That's right. Okay.
This is a different kind of pressure. You are the favorite. You are supposed to win. Anything but gold is a failure. The roster is the deepest of any year of the dynasty. The 5 pillars are back. Smith, McDonald-Correa, Jensen, Dick, Strome. Luke Klein has returned for his second championship run. Big Iron, as the coach nicknamed him. Big, strong, as fast as ever. 4 new players join the team. The Poplawski twins, Spencer and Adam from Beaumont. They are fierce on the forecheck. They think and play as one. The coach recruits them in the family living room. Robin Jackie Poplawski sitting across from him. He makes one promise. Their boys will play on the same line. They will not be split up. Robin Jackie smile. They are in. Parker Weinrock, a tall 6'3" defenseman from Red Deer. He has a great tryout, stay-at-home dependable, and he understands the game of inline. Enter Sebastian Hamming. Sebastian had played a league game against the Bears earlier that year. 6 goals, did not lose a faceoff. Dominated the game against the Bears, a team that did not get dominated. Walking off the floor after the handshake, Team Alberta coach Kirk Jensen stops him. Have you ever thought about playing for Team Alberta? Sebastian smiles. He says he will talk to his parents. A day later, they call. Sebastian Hamming will wear number 6. 10 players, 1 mission. The qualifying round opens with the most dominant pool play performance in the program's history.
The 2018 team in Missouri, that's one I probably remember the most. I mean, that team was unbelievable. We were a force, just dominant. Mercied 4 out of the 6 games, and yeah, that's what I remember from that.
They beat Missouri 9-1. They beat North Carolina 5-3. The only game where any opponent will score more than 2 against Alberta the entire tournament. They beat New Jersey 8-0. They beat Virginia 8-0. 4 wins, 30 goals, 4 against, plus 26. 2 Mercy Reels shutouts to finish the qualifying round. Friday, July 27, 2018, 9:20 in the evening. The semifinal. The boys come out flying. The Canadian and Alberta flags snap in the wind as they whistle around the floor during warm-up. They score first. They dominate possession. They control the play. Tyler Dale, the star of Wisconsin, tries the play that has burned Alberta before. The same kind of cycle that helped produce Tyler Dale's hat trick in 2017. Defenseman Luke Klein meets it head on. He comes to the bench beaming. They tried that play on me, coach, and I shut it down. The coach smiles and says, yes, you did, Luke. Well done. Alberta 7, Wisconsin 2. The championship. Before the game, the coach is in the hallway outside the Alberta dressing room, looking through his notes. A young star player from Northern California comes up and says, you're the coach of Team Alberta, aren't you? I said, yes, I am. We heard about your team, and all our best have come this year to the championship because we wanted to play you. I said, we're excited about playing you too. Good luck out there today. Nobody does it better than State Wars for making a production of the championship game. The lights are turned down, the music plays, and the players are introduced by Spotlight. The two national anthems are played. The coach is interviewed by Dennis from SWTV at the bench.
Yeah, Chris, I'm down here with Coach Kurt Jensen, of which name I've gotten wrong the last 2 years. Coach, it takes a lot to get to the championship game at this level. What did it take in this tournament?
You know, I can tell you that this tournament always brings together the best from North America, Canada, and now around the world. And I can tell you, it's preparation, Dennis. If you're not prepared to come to this, you're going to have troubles. And we've tried to prepare as best we could.
If I want to understand, these two teams know each other really well. They play together against one another at Midwest Wars or West Wars. And what is it going to take to beat Southern Cal? Or is this Northern Cal? We have Northern Cal. I apologize.
That's right. No, to beat some of our players that play these and against each other, I can tell you, to beat Northern California, we got to play as a team. We got to keep possession and we got to finish. They got a really strong team, fast skating. We got to move the puck. We got to keep possession. We got to finish.
This will be a great game. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Dennis.
They will go from
the game
right
starts
to
with
left.
a hard forecheck from Alberta,
As the puck
something
is down
Northern
and we're
California has not
underway in the
experienced.
2003
The plan is to make them
Triple A
uncomfortable,
championship.
to keep them from getting their wheels going north.
Take all.
Northern
Behind the
California
NorCal
takes
net.
possession.
10:36 left in the first period. Puck played up the left wing. Chance down the right side. Mattel in front, deflected home, they score! An early goal for NorCal, and that's a big one. As they take the lead against Alberta. Alberta is very good with a lead, but now NorCal forces them to chase the game a bit.
Jaden Smith skates back to the bench. He looks across and says, "What happened there?" If anyone in Alberta thought this was going to be easy, no one does anymore. Enter the Beaumont forecheck. Relentless. Their leader, number 33, Dominic Hofferber, known as Boogie, is one of the top players in the division. He will be frustrated all game by the Alberta forecheck. 3 minutes and 52 seconds in,
Acosta.
the puck is turned over. Spencer to Adam.
Breaking free.
Brothers.
Got Spencer. Papelowski on him. Papelowski still pestering on the forecheck. That's going to force a turnover. The two Papelowskis have it. Spencer in front for Adam. Back for Spencer. Shot. They score!
Goal. Tied 1-1. The announcer says it plainly.
Alberta forecheck is the best I've seen in this tournament, other than the pro division, to this point. And
That's something to
NorCal,
be said there.
As Alberta starts to take control of the game.
Face off deep in the Southern Cal zone. Draw one by Alberta. Hamming has it at the point, leaves it for Smith. Most dangerous Alberta forward. Smith cut to his right, wrist shot, he scores! Right on cue, Smith splits to the defense, a wrist shot that goes past Patel and in. 5:26 left in the first, and it's a 2-1 lead for Alberta. Now Alberta ready for the
Then,
breakout. Here comes Smith.
one of the finest
Smith
sequences
drops
you
to
will
the
see.
point. The return feed is blocked by Hofferber.
Smith was ready for that one-timer.
Numbers the other way, bringing it in. Schiffer for Hofferber. It's blocked in
Great
front.
defense.
Now it's an odd man the other way. Leading the rush, Hamming. He made that defensive play. Dropped it to Smith. Smith to the near side. Back for him.
Wow.
Score!
just the way the game should be played, George. Go ahead.
Now, that is how you run a 3-on-1.
Not on the other direction?
Right. No, California came down the 3-on-1 and it was perfectly played defensively. But in this situation, that 3-on-1, it was just tic-tac-toe. And the left winger had already fallen, got back up and got the feedback door.
Wow. Tic-tac-toe, back of the net.
That was gorgeous, and it's a big goal too because it gives them a 2-goal lead late in the first. Alberta's just taking control here. Normally a team that scores first gets the momentum, but it's been the opposite.
All right, Chris, looks like we got
First period
Coach
ends
Jensen here again.
3-1 for Alberta.
So, Coach, down 1-0 early, and it looked like a great play on their end, coming up and down the ring, tap-in goal. After that, it was all forecheck on your end. Has that created many of the chances?
Yeah, it is. I tell you that it's a team that we like to pressure the puck, and I know they love the possession game as well, and they're very good at it, but we're going to keep the pressure on them. We're down 1-0. We got the horses here. That doesn't scare us at all. There's a lot of inline game left. Both you and I know, Dennis. There's still a lot of game left now.
Any plan on changing anything, or just think you're going at it?
Nope. That's it. Just roll the horses and let them go. Their turn.
Go get them. All right, Chris, you heard Coach. He's got a 3-1 lead and not going to change anything.
Period 2, the Avalanche.
Puck is down. We're underway in the decisive second period. Alberta wins the opening faceoff. We'll see how NorCal's forecheck does. Dick gets right through it.
Yeah, but I like NorCal's approach. They're going right at him right now. They're not holding back anything. They figured out that if they come up the rink quickly, they may catch Alberta forechecking and over-aggressively forechecking. Oh, but Alberta makes them pay here.
Pass to the far side, they score!
Just a turnover on NorCal's end, and that's costly right there.
Coggin goal signal with the 18 points. I haven't seen one in a while.
He really hasn't been that excited about it because there hasn't been a big goal. There's a big goal for
Alberta. Adam Pavlovsky, a wrist shot from the high slot. And it's now an even bigger lead for Team Alberta. 5-1 is your score.
These guys are going after it. They are not changing anything to their game. And Chris brought up a good point earlier. Why would you?
Dick
Look at this play.
For Pavlovsky, they score at 6-1. Dick to Spencer Pavlovsky, and it's now a 5-goal lead. It's all Alberta.
Yeah, this game has opened up a little bit here, guys.
I think it's opened up in one direction, though.
Yeah, no doubt. The great part about Alberta with a 6-1 lead is they're still taking chances, and somehow they still have two guys back every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing.
Adam Pavlovsky into the zone, cuts to the front, beautiful move, shoots, he scores!
It's almost like they have 5 guys in the rink right now, George. What do you think?
Listen, he even fought through being held. He cut to the inside, got grabbed, and got the shot off. It's just
It's
two different levels of teams out on this thing.
Yep. Almost like the NorCal early goal ignited Team Alberta to say, hey,
it's the worst thing
they're here.
Woke them up, yeah.
Thanks, Dennis. Offerber into the high slot, wrist shot, it misses wide, comes back out front, shot, they score. Wadowski makes it 7-2, so never say die here for Northern California.
And so as long as they're still bringing it, with 7-1, but they pulled within 5, and they're still playing well defensively too. But
just as we say that, Klein walks over the shot and scores. It's now 8-2 Alberta.
Man.
And I think these teams are very even talent-wise, but I think it's a differences in style that's caught NorCal off guard here.
Yeah, but Alberta just doesn't stop. Alberta does not stop. They're grind, go. All the time for Alberta. And when I stepped in, it was 1-1. And their forecheck was just fierce.
Costa looking to get the momentum back for NorCal, but he gets right into by Smith. Smith, left wing side, in front for Dick, a shot! And they score, it sneaks past Patel, it's now 9-2, 5:14 left in the second. And you know, for Alberta, or just for anybody in general, when you have a 7-goal lead in the AAA championship, there's no excuses for anything. You can't say, oh, well, must have sandbagged, they're all done this and that. You're in the top division and you're dominating the championship. Testament to how good they've been. I don't even think that it's not that NorCal played bad or they're an inferior team. Alberta just brought it. Brought it in a big way. Schiffer over for Hofferber. Hofferber, a wrist shot, save made. Wadowski looking for that rebound, and Strom hangs on. Now Schiffer. It's on the brakes. Try to dangle, that didn't work. Now Hamming. Into the zone, right wing side. Hamming to the far wing. They shoot and score. And Team Alberta wins the game by the score of 10-2. And they are the champions of the 2003 AAA division. As we'll step out for a break and be back for the awards ceremony, so stay tuned for that after this on SWH Live.
7 goals in period 2. It becomes a rare AAA championship final won by mercy rule. The tournament-wide stat line is one that will be part of the team's legacy. 47 goals for, 8 against, plus 39. 4 out of 6 games won by a mercy rule. An average of just 8 shots against per game. And at the other end, opposing goals managed only a .650 save percentage. Team Alberta defended suffocatingly and attacked ruthlessly.
Folks, we're here with the AAA champion, coach of Alberta, Kirk Jensen. How does it feel right now, coach?
Man, I tell you, I am so proud to be with this group of boys. They have come and they prepared for a couple of months to get ready for this moment, and they brought everything. And again, proud for Canada, proud for Alberta, and proud to be part of this team.
That's awesome. Coach, it was 1-1 for a while. Then you guys just pulled away. Can you speak to the perseverance that you guys showed and the consistency they showed at the end of that game?
You know, we've been tested in this tournament, in this championship and other ones, and we're down 1-0 where it's 1-1. I just know where our horses lie, and I know what we can do. So I said, you know, keep bringing it, let the clock run. We'll go get them, and yeah, it just proved out again. It's just a great group.
Can you speak to the play of Smith, who got MVP? Speak to his play throughout the tournament.
You know, I can speak to his play, which is outstanding. He's a great team player, but he's also a leader. He's a leader on the surface, he's a leader on the bench, he's a leader in the dressing room, he's a leader at the hotel. He's the kind of guy you want on your team that makes a difference, and we're so proud and happy to have him as our captain.
Coach, I'll let you celebrate with your team. Congratulations for winning State Wars 14. That's Kirk Jensen, head coach of Team Alberta, the AAA champion.
Winning 1 AAA championship is tough. Winning 2 in a row is very hard. Winning 3 is, you know, upper level. I remember the first time seeing the team, I thought, well, the coaching's definitely questionable. That was my first thought. I wasn't sure about this coach. The third year came, and I was like, okay, no way this is happening again. I mean, Kirk can only get lucky twice. And you guys won again, and I was like, okay, this team is a good example of a team.
Only 8 in the entire history of the championship, across decades, across hundreds of teams from every state, province, and country. Only 8 have ever done this. This is no longer a run. This is a dynasty. Trivia from the Hall, the performance plan. Most youth teams travel to a tournament with a hotel reservation and a hope. Team Alberta traveled with a book. It started in 2014. The summer Team Alberta 2003s first went to State Wars, Kirk Jensen sat down and built something no youth program in the sport had ever built. A complete performance plan. Not a schedule, a document. It opened with the welcome, the mission statement, then the roster, performance camp itinerary, team principles, travel checklist, then the plays, the actual systems drawn and explained, the budget, the hotel, a scouting breakdown on the top players they would face, even the things to do, the things to see in whatever American city was hosting the team that year. Every player received a copy at the performance camp, usually held the last weekend in June. It was updated every single summer, 2014, 2015, 2016, and on. In the years that followed, parts of it would quietly be adopted by other programs. The point of the book was never the paper. The point was that no stone was left unturned, that no player ever walked into a building unsure of what was happening, who they were playing, or why. When you remove every doubt before the puck drops, you free a team to do the only thing that matters: play. There is a line from Bobby Knight that explains the entire philosophy. Everybody has the will to win. Not everybody has the will to prepare. Team Alberta had both, and the will to prepare came first. What you are watching here is different. Hall of Teams is not built for algorithms. It is built for people who care about where sport comes from and why it still matters. If you have stayed with this episode, you already understand the standard. Subscribe and be part of building it. Chapter 7, Legacy and Meaning. Every dynasty ends. The question is what it leaves behind. After the 2018 championship, the 2003 Team Alberta never plays another State Wars together.
In 2018, it was the final night, and that was when I was going back to Ontario. Again, like after you guys were going home, going to Ontario. So me, Michael, and Peyton, we thought we might as well stay up, just enjoy our time together. And the hotel's empty, of course. So we're just wandering around doing our thing, and I guess because we weren't doing anything wrong, just the front desk was telling us to go to bed. We're like, no, it's okay. And I guess they called you, and the elevator, you can see it's like a glass elevator, so you can see it and we see you coming down, and we took off running. We were like, what do we do? We took off, and it was too late. You got us, and you guys need to go to bed. You were yelling at us. It was awesome. That was a really good memory.
The pandemic arrives. The players move into the next stage of their athletic lives. Some continue into junior hockey. Some move into NCAA programs in the United States. Some play professionally in Europe. Some keep playing in line. Some step away from the sport altogether. But all of them carry something forward. A ring. Most youth teams celebrate a championship with a banner, a trophy in a glass case, a photo on a wall. Team Alberta does something else. Before the dynasty ever began, the coach made players a promise. Win the AAA crown in a single season, the league title, the provincial championship, and the State Wars World Championship, and every player would be rewarded. Not a medal, not a plaque, a ring. Heavy, engraved, the kind you feel on your hand. They won all three. So the rings were made, one for every player, and on a winter night, the team gathered in the coach's home in Edmonton for the ceremony. Most of the players were there in the room. Jaden Smith, by then living in Ontario, joined the only way distance allowed, on a screen, zoomed in from 2,000 kilometers away so the captain would not miss it.
The ring ceremony night, that was so special because I obviously couldn't make it. I'm in Ontario. But just being a part of it, you guys called me, did the whole ceremony, I had to be a part of it. Felt like I was in the room, of course. It was awesome. That ring meant so much because all the work we put in, everything we've been through, all the traveling, all the training, all that. So it was so special, of course. And it just means the world to have that ring.
The guest of honor was Kyle Henderson, captain of Canada's men's national team. One by one, the coach introduced his players, and one by one, Henderson handed each of them a small box. Inside each box, a ring.
So, with experience, having a couple of these rings, I can tell you a couple things that they're going to do for you. Your whole life, they're going to mean something. You're always going to get to look back at them. You're going to remember the guys you played with, the team you played against, the way you guys won, the score of the game, all that. That one ring is always going to bring you guys back to that moment, and that's going to be really special in you guys' lives.
Some achievements are meant to be hung on a wall. These were meant to be worn.
I look at this every day. I got it on display. I'm very proud of it. It's a big accomplishment, big life achievement, and I carry it everywhere with me. It's a great story to tell, and people definitely see that in me when I tell them that.
Years from now, when those players are far from the game, in another city, in another life, they will look down at their hand and remember exactly what it cost and exactly what it meant to be part of something that was never supposed to happen.
Definitely remember it being a very big deal. I've never really traveled international for sport before, and carrying that Alberta crest on my chest, it was a big deal, representing more than just a province, but also a country. I understood it took a lot, and it was a lot of weight, but I enjoyed every moment of it.
The 2003 Team Alberta did not just win championships. They changed what was possible. Years earlier, the 1993 Alberta program won the AAA at State Wars, won championship, and then a long quiet. The 2003 team ended that quiet, and then they did what no Alberta team ever had. They won it again and again, and no Alberta team has won a AAA championship since. After this team, every Alberta team that followed was measured against the standard they created. The bar was no longer where it used to be. The bar became where they placed it.
For that 2003 Alberta team, the first thing, as soon as you say it, in my head, it's winning. I think the tradition that they established of winning and just excellence, they always, I'm not sure if I ever saw them play a bad game. I'm not sure that they, it was one of those things where you feel like they really even had a weakness. It's one of those things where it's like, they're just so good and relentless, and they just kept coming back and being so good. And it definitely made you want to, push yourself in your game. So, I think what they did to for the competition, for teams like us to know that we needed to up our game and we needed to be better, that this team was just, they were just so good.
8 communities contributed to this team: Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, Beaumont, Wetaskiwin, Red Deer, Didsbury, Spruce Grove. Different cities, different backgrounds. One province held them together with 2 coaches, 1 system, 1 identity, and 1 phrase taped to a locker room wall in 3 different American cities across 5 unforgettable summers: Rocky Mountain Strong.
Everybody on that team played for each other. It really, truly was. And they looked out for each other in the arena, during the games, looked out for each other afterwards. I mean, it was a total team effort from parents, coaches to players, and so everybody enjoyed it. We had support of great people there for the players. And so you can call that culture, you can call it brotherhood, but really that was the central reason why we had so much success, because they believed in themselves, and they believed in themselves because of the fact that they've been taught well and they executed well. And it was overall just a great experience for everybody, including myself.
They climbed 4 impossible rungs: presence, then their first win, defeating a dynasty, then back-to-back championships, then a three-peat, the Alberta dynasty. And then they came home, not simply as champions, but as proof that Alberta could stand at the top of the inline hockey world.
Being on that 03 team to me was just something special. Those friendships, those memories, like the wins, the losses, we did them together. It didn't matter what we did, from being at the rink, watching pro games, trading pins, to going to the baseball games together. I remember the Red Deer tournaments together. It wasn't just State Wars, it was everything. Like the friendships, that's just something you can't get back. I know, it might have been a couple of years since I've seen a couple of the guys, but if I've ever seen them on the street or something, it's definitely a hug and we're catching up for hours. So those are guys you'll never forget, memories you'll never forget. They brought us life lessons, patience, be a risk taker, be different. Don't be scared to go somewhere where you're not known and where it's uncomfortable.
This induction belongs to all of them, to the 5 who were there every summer, and to every player whose name was ever stitched into the jersey over those 3 years, to the head coach who built the system and the assistant coach who helped carry it through every storm. The 2003 Team Alberta is hereby inducted into the Hall of Teams. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the Hall of Teams. If you know of a team that you'd like to have, whether a youth team or a national team or a club team, put it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you and your club. From the wheels of a Canadian dynasty to the heart of a European powerhouse. Join us next time as we travel to Scandinavia to tell the story of one of the greatest national programs in any sport, the Danish men's national handball team, a country of fewer than 6 million people that has produced Olympic gold, World Championship gold, European Championship gold, and a generation of players who have made handball the unofficial national sport of an entire nation. From the harbors of Copenhagen to the indoor arenas of Aarhus, this is a team built on culture you have not heard of, in a sport most of the world undervalues, that quietly built one of the most decorated runs in the history of international competition. Next time on the Hall of Teams, the Danish men's national handball team. Until then, remember, behind every logo is a legacy, and behind every team, a tale worth telling. I'm Kirk Jensen, and this is the Hall of Teams.